Geocache talk, a voice on the line I hear, coming through Geocache talk.
Embark on a breathtaking 12-night journey through Scandinavia with the Worldwide Cache Cruise, starting from the enchanting city of Amsterdam. With the Worldwide Cache Cruise, we are not just taking a vacation. We are geocaching and collecting experiences that will last a lifetime.
A stunning symbol of adventure, community, and storytelling. Its bold design shines with vibrant colors and a cool retro look. It's more than just a coin. It's a badge of geocaching passion. You can be part of the journey by supporting Geocache Talk on Patreon. Your patronage helps create inspiring shows, grow the community, and keep the adventure going. Join the network at patreon.com/geocachetalk.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Calling all geocachers. At artedcrafted.com, we create unique apparel designed by geocachers for geocachers. From custom t-shirts to personalized mugs, our gear lets you express your passion. Stand out at your next event with artedcrafted.com. artedcrafted.com. Gear up for your next geocaching adventure.
All right, next geocaching adventure. Nice. Big thanks to all of our new patrons and to all of our existing patrons. Old patrons? I wouldn't call them old. That's not a nice way to put it.
Yeah, maybe
current patrons and new patrons. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds much better.
For keeping the show on the air and for paying all the bills. And yeah, there are a handful of them now. So we appreciate everybody helping us out on that. All right. Well, let's get right into it. Let me bring in my co-host for tonight.
Hey, Gary, how are you doing?
The ninja himself.
Yeah. Hey, good to be back on this one. Hey, I've heard, Gary, and I don't know if this is true, that Jesse is on call for WrestleMania in case they need a wrestler.
That's what I read as well.
That is crazy, man.
And then, of course, he's not here. He said he had some sort of obligation to some event that was going on. So
I'm just wondering if there's going to be like a masked man at WrestleMania with like a "Where I Go" symbol somewhere on his uniform.
That makes perfect sense. Now that you say that, I think we're starting to piece together the issue that we're having right now. The fact that Jesse is going to be out there. So, well, good for him. Hope he doesn't get killed, because that's a sport that you better know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're gonna snap a leg, my friend. So they don't fool around out there in WrestleMania. It's big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, happy Easter to everyone. I saw a comment in there. So happy Sunday, happy Easter. I saw the happy Sunday. So hope everybody had some chocolate if that suits you well. And I had some chocolate. So hid Easter eggs, because we are geocachers, so we should be able to know how to hide hide an egg. So hid some for my
happy Odeg. I did not have chocolate pizza yet, but the holiday is not over, my friend.
Not a bad idea, though. I like this. I like
the way he thinks.
Yes, I do too. I feel bad. Soccer kicks. We're having tornadoes for Easter. Hopefully hopefully what she's saying is that tornadoes is sort of a slang term for some great food or drink. I hope they're not real tornadoes. I'm sure they are, but I feel bad. Hopefully they won't hit anything. Yeah, or hit anybody or any property or anything. But
I hope so. So Gary, of these eggs that you hid, did you hide any Terrain 5 eggs?
No, I did hide some. I did hide some that took a few passes. Some T3s. So it took him a while to. He's 5, and so he did have to take a few passes at it to find all of them. But but we double checked, which is always good to do, because if you don't, then somebody's going to find that egg. Some critter was going to find that. We did all plastic eggs. I remember as a kid, I think my parents would also hide just regular hard-boiled eggs out in the backyard, and that's a little problematic.
I was going to say the scorpions have to eat something, right?
Yes. Oh, I did send you the picture of that. Scorpions are out in full force here in Texas. So spring is here.
Crazy.
Yeah. Y'all don't get a lot of scorpions up that way, do you?
No, we don't. I don't think I've ever seen a scorpion.
No, like real? You never seen like like the picture I showed you, the one in the wild there I found?
No, we don't get those. We don't
at
get
the park.
No.
I was walking along. I was hiding. Was redoing caches in that park, and I was walking along. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh, look, there's a scorpion." I said the picture to John and to Jesse. Is like, "Hey, spring has sprung in Texas. The scorpions are out." Yeah. See, Streck 2 says that the ticks are out in full force in New Hampshire. We don't really have. I mean, we have ticks, but we don't really have a lot of ticks in. Let's see how to put this. We do probably have, but for us, the big thing is, is chiggers. Those are the ones that are really,
man, those are horrible.
Yeah, they drive you insane. So
yeah,
you definitely have to lube up your legs before you get out there. But I heard ticks are bad. In fact, that's something that I need to make a note of, because I'm coming up that way for Gigastock, and we're going to be out there finding caches. So I need to prepare properly for because I don't want to get a tick. I'm not interested in all in that.
Yeah, those are not fun at all. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So apparently they don't have that. Nicole saying that they don't have those in Florida, but
probably the alligators eat the ticks in Florida, I'm guessing.
I don't know. Do they eat? But yeah, she's got the and then All Things Earthcast says chiggers, no thank you. Yeah, they're not. Yeah. They are not fun at all, because you can't see them. They're like a no-see-em. I mean, it's they're okay. There you go. Buzz says permethrin is your best friend in tick country. Okay, good to know.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Let's do this. So I'll get us started on the news. First item is Worldwide Cache Cruise. I know it's a long way off. I know. Trust me. It is 400 and something days, but we are now up to 100 cruisers on our cruise ship. So, John, I am fired up. I am fired up.
That is wild. I mean, just taking it from an idea like, hey, who's interested? Who wants to do this?
Yeah.
And to have 100 people commit, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It really is a great trip. Now, you're hitting so many countries. It's like such a great buffet. I mean, you've got Oslo, Norway. You've got Stockholm, Sweden. You've got Helsinki, Finland. You've got Tallinn, Estonia. You got Stockholm, or you've got Denmark. You've got Copenhagen. So there's we fly into the Netherlands. I mean, there's so many places that you get to see all along the Baltic Sea. So it's really cool. And yeah, we're hitting at least 6 countries. I mean, that's really amazing that we're
That is
able
so
to
cool.
hit that many countries. Now, again, it's a sampler platter, so it's a day in Oslo. So you're not getting like the full you're only getting a little bit of each country, but it is what it is. It's a sample platter, and it's going to be
Yeah.
a great sample platter. One
Yeah.
of the things too that's kind of cool. Obviously, people are fired up for the match stash in Stockholm. And I talked to our travel agent, and I said, we need to figure out a way to get pretty much everybody that we have on this trip. So maybe not all 100, but you're talking a lot of people. We need to get them from the cruise port to the match stash, which is like a 30-minute drive. So you can't really walk it. So you're gonna have to take some sort of transportation. And she's like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. So she goes, well, we can take you there, and then we need to make sure we come pick you up before we get you back. It's like, no, we only need to be there for a few minutes. And she's like, oh. So I said, we need y'all to take us there. Somebody to take us there. And if they can stick around for a little bit, we're gonna go out to the cache, sign the cache, walk back, and then just take us into town. And that's as good as she's like, okay, we'll work it out. So she's been talking to people, and she's actually talking to the cruise line of all people. This is crazy. So Celebrity Cruise Line is making a excursion from the boat just for us.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
That is cool. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So Nels says that public transportation takes you close to Match Dash. So that's So we're going to be able to get that all done.
Nice.
So that's really good. Anyway, other than that, I'm so looking forward to that trip. There's going to be so many cool things to see and do, and we're gonna do what we can on the boat, the ship. That it'll be fun.
We'll be a geocaching trip of a lifetime for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. Each port. Would that be for each port? No, I mean we're not gonna help, but we're not really gonna be able to help people out for each port.
Yeah. And one thing on that too is we just don't. Everybody has different geocaching goals.
Yeah.
Some people like favorite points. Some people like puzzles. Some people like earth caches. So we know different people have different goals, and it's just really onto that one. We want people to cache aligned with those goals on that one.
Yeah,
because we all know if it was me, we'd probably going to every pizza place.
Sure.
And man, that would burn daylight pretty quick on people. So
yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, everybody wants to go do something different. I want to mostly sightsee. Obviously going to find a cache in every country, but I think some people are going to they're going to be like, I don't want to see whatever, the Viking Museum. I want to go find geocaches. I'm like, go find geocaches. I'm going to go hit up a museum or two. So I think there'll be differences. Nell's saying in Sweden, there'll be coleslaw with pizza.
That is kind of weird. I've never heard of that, Nels.
Wow.
I mean, I guess when in Sweden, right? Do the sweet thing, but
you'll eat anything on a pizza, right?
At least once. At least once. I'll tell you.
Yeah. All right. So tell us a little bit about a cache event madness. Where are we up to?
What round man. So here's the big thing, right? We just wrapped up round 3. So in round 3, it was Geo Woodstock versus Cache Fest Hawaii. Geo Woodstock won, on that one.
It's kind of a tough to beat that.
Tough to beat a Giga, man. The Giga is like the monster in the room. And then, we had Bamorama who matched up against the Yuma block party, and Bamorama beat the Yuma block party.
Oh, wow.
So our final matchup, guys, the poll is live. I'm going to drop in the chat, and we want people to vote on here. final matchup is Bamarama versus Geo Woodstock on here. So
wow.
I just gotta say, like
David
big,
versus Goliath.
yeah, and I mean, big shout out to Bamarama because I mean, like on this one, there were a lot of amazing events out there that people were excited about, and Bamarama dominantly beat the Yuma Block Party, on that one. So
I really enjoyed Bamarama. There were some things that didn't go, I think, as well as that they might have hoped, or didn't go as well as maybe I think. But again, I'm not the final word on that. I've done, and you've been part of. We've done megas before.
Yep.
And I think overall, Bamarama gets a big thumbs up from me. 2 thumbs up. The caches in the Bamarama area are just tremendous. The events are, for the most part, really good. I think a couple of them were, again, it overall were great. I think a couple spots were poorly thought through, but then those are not always easy to do. So I'm not going to really take too many points away from them. Now, Geo Woodstock hasn't occurred yet this year. We think it's going to be awesome.
Oh man, all signs point to it being awesome, Gary.
All signs point to incredible.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is about. This is about your own excitement level, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. What one excites people the most on that one?
Yeah. What excites you the most? So
Right.
Nice. So looking forward to the battle, and we'll have you can cast your vote, and we'll see who wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Gary, next item in the news on here, because I
Yes.
listened to last week's show. For those that don't know, I was traveling. I was
We
traveling
missed
to
you.
I missed you guys too. I listened to the show traveling back from North Carolina.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, I was shocked, absolutely shocked to hear that Mark Webb is Troop Biz.
Yes.
Like that blows my mind. That blows my mind. And another thing here that'll probably blow people's minds is I was driving through Morgantown and I sent a message to Mark Webb, right? And I was like, "Hey, Mark, sorry we're not going to meet up, man. I really look forward to catching up sometime," and yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty bummed out. And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to stop for one cache, okay?" After Cache Odyssey, I'm like, I really need a February 2003 cache. So this is 100% true, right? I go to the parking lot, I get out of my car, and I hear, "Hello, John." And like, I look up and it's Mark Webb, he's at this park.
The very own Mark Webb.
Yeah. And so I was like, what are the odds that I would just randomly bump into Mark at the one cache other than Cache Odyssey, West Virginia that I stopped at, and
that shows that he's very active in getting things ready for Gigastock.
Yes. Yeah.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What are the odds that you just randomly happen to be in Morgantown?
Yeah.
Randomly going to a cache nearby.
Yeah. It makes me think, like, is Mark Webb / Troop Biz magical? Is there some like Santa factor here? Does he know if you've been caching good for caching sake or something,
I think that's possible.
Yeah.
Maybe he's one of those anchor beings that we hear about, like Wolverine. Like he is the geocaching anchor being that we were hoping would arrive.
Yeah, could be.
Troop Biz or Mark. We think that's the same person, but we don't. There's no guarantee. There's no real proof. We're just taking.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I met Mark. I know that last week.
Yeah, you met Mark. We had Mark on the show last week, so yeah. And then you have one more item in the news.
Last item for the news is last call for Operation Worldwide Cache Hide Sci-Fi. So this year's theme is sci-fi. If you're participating, you need to get your cache submitting for publishing, so scheduled for publishing really as of today, because you're supposed to give 2 weeks notice. So I'm participating. I sent my cache in for publishing, set a note in for the reviewer on here.
Cool.
Here's the URL on here. If you want to participate, you can find it at geocachingcentral.com. Also on here too, for people to keep like in their thoughts on this one for planning wise, May the 4th is when these caches are going to go live. So onto here, look to see if you have a local event, but just kind of put in the corner of your eye, because these are supposed to or corner of your mind, May 4th at 8 a.m. These are supposed to go live.
Oh, that's true.
So you have the opportunity to get an FTF on some pretty cool caches. And who knows, in your area, maybe this will be a lot of caches that go live at one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you. Always.
Always.
Awesome. All right. Let's get into, as I labeled it, my strange geocaching addiction.
I'm ready to admit some things.
Yeah. And so we pulled a little bit from ChatGC, and it says, you're a geocacher when a quick cache turns into a 12-hour expedition and your glove compartment looks like a dollar store exploded. But at what point does the hobby become an obsession, nay, an addiction? So we're going to dive into this idea of addictions. Now, Jesse, who is probably filling in at WrestleMania from what we understand, he sent in a couple of his. So let's mention his and then we'll get into ours. Memphis had, he says, I've gone through many geo obsessions over the years. Trackables, my daughter was excited by them, so that is all we went after for a while there. Interesting. That'd be an interesting show. And I found something today, John. I don't know if you've seen this, but
what's that?
I don't know if it's just Cashly. I didn't investigate fully. I don't know about Cashly. I did know on the standard app.
Yeah.
You can sort your caches by whether they have a trackable in them or not. Isn't that weird?
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. So you can sort one of the sort features is whether it has, and now again, I can't find it, which you know how that is. You do a show, but there's a way you can sort your list by whether it has a trackable in it, which I think is kind of weird because, as we all know, if it says that there's a trackable in that cache, don't bet any money that there's a trackable.
Do not let your heart get broken. So
no. Take that with a large grain of salt because sadly, every time I've seen to go to try to find one, it ain't there. So, okay. And then he said his other note was where I goes. Everyone told me they were too hard. Of course, he mastered the where I go. Earth Cache, the same thing, same as where I goes. Jesse's really he jokes about it, but to be all completely honest, and he's not here, so and we can kind of we could take some free runs at him, but he really is someone who knows Earth Caches really well. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that I've talked about before, I know he's helped you for some. I really didn't think I could, put any more Earth Caches out in my area. I had attempted some different things, and I just sort of gave up because no, you can get some Earth Caches published, and so he helped me. He got me the one that's in a nearby cemetery. and people really enjoy the it's easy to do, but yet I think it has enough interest that people really enjoy it. So it's not some sort of geological, dissertation that you got to come up with. You're just going to look at basically 3 different gravestones, and you're going to discuss them. What are you finding with these 3 different graves? Because they're 3 different rock types, and so it makes for an easy, for a fairly easy earth cache. And then I have another one nearby, which is the Creep, which pretty much everybody in their town, if they think they can't do an earth cache, you can do the Creep, because I guarantee you, if you drive around your town, I bet you're going to find a pole that's leaning somewhere, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about Fredonia, but I mean, we have there's a electrical line in one of our parks in town, and it's, I'm showing audio folks will think about the fact that, I mean, it's a leaning tower of Pisa. I mean, it's leaning, and it's leaning toward the culvert, so you can tell that there's some issues going on with that one. And there's a way you can make an earth cache out of that. So, very helpful.
Well, I'll tell you, I just give Jesse so much credit, because it just seems like if there's anything I know about Jesse, he likes to step up to the challenges. And if somebody tells him something's hard, if somebody tells him something's difficult, that's going to motivate him, big time.
Yeah, exactly. And you've published some earth caches recently.
Yeah.
So good for you.
I got 2 new recent ones. So yeah, I appreciate it, because I mean, and that's the thing I think for some people is geocaching. You hear some things are difficult to do, and maybe it could scare you off, but I mean, really, these things aren't that scary. I know for me, actually, like, to tell you the truth, that the earth caches I just got published recently, the last 2, my reviewer, the GeoAware, got back to me so super quick. It was within like 24 hours.
Wow.
Providing like great solid feedback, and I'm like, this is incredible. If somebody were going to tell me like you'd have somebody this supportive so quick interacting back with you, I probably would have like made a lot of earth caches over the years,
Yeah.
But I think they get a bum rap for being difficult to make.
No, I agree. And once you get started, I mean, they can be addictive, because you're like, oh, I could do another one. Wait, let
absolutely.
me think of Absolutely. Because then you're like, oh, look, the bright little shiny icon is now out there, and you're like, oh, those are cool. Maybe I could do another one.
I'll tell you, I am addicted to making them right now. 100%.
Good for you, man. That's a good addiction to have. Then let's see. Jesse goes on. He mentions cache types, publishing caches of all types. Yeah, that's his big.
Yep.
His big item that he loves to tell people is, if you're a cacher if you're any kind of serious cacher, then he says you have got to publish every cache type. I mean, that's just every cache type that's available to you. You need to publish, because that it denotes that you're a serious geocacher. Otherwise, you're just faking it.
Well,
you're just a poser.
I appreciate, because the sense is like, this is a community game. We got to give back to our community. So if you're giving back all these different types to your community, that's awesome. You know?
Then he mentions, of course, challenges. He wrote the book on challenges. So, but Jasmer Fizzy calendar, weird challenges. Those can be very addicting. They can be something that they really can be. I know that I was up in the Denton area, and I found a couple that I qualified for, and I'm not opposed to signing one that I haven't qualified for. Obviously, I'm not going to put a found it log on it, but I'll sign it. I signed a bunch with Jesse back when he came down one time. I'll sign it. I'll sign anything. I can't log them, but he can log them. So we're having fun. But I was in the Denton area and I logged a couple challenges that I actually qualified for, put in the information, and did it properly. And I'm like, what is my first thing I did? I'm like, are there any others in the area?
Yeah.
Maybe there are some more challenges that are in the area that I might qualify for.
Yeah.
And I found that day. I didn't really plan on that because I was doing other things. But I found a couple, and then I started looking. I'm like, so now I guess it's a side addiction in that I sort of scour an area and I go, because with Project GC, you put in your GC name, it'll sort of do a preliminary look. You can always check them as well, but
yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, for people, I think you're right on, Gary, because I mean, to me, challenges are another thing that can be hard for people. But like, if you go into Project GC, go in there, see what challenges you qualify for, because you'd probably be surprised at how many you do qualify for that are pretty close.
And RB5 is completely true. So Denton has a lot of challenges in the area. They are correct. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
And then also want to mention Galaxite Gwen. Earth caches aren't difficult, just time consuming sometimes. And that is very true. We both have found out. They're worth the effort, I think. Especially, if you find something you really like, they're going to help you. I mean, the GeoAware folks they're there to help. They want to publish Earth caches. They don't want to they're not there to snub you. They do have very specific guidelines that they need you to sort of toe the line on, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. And then Jesse says also quality logs. Okay. Yeah, I guess you could be obsessed about that. I understand. That's another. So for a whole nother. That's for another show. Where's my little thing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's for another show. I'm honestly, I'm bad about logs. I try to put in information about what I'm not doing a TFTC, but I'm someone who, for the most part, just puts in there what I was doing in that area. And that's probably not enough.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tricky one. I mean, we could go down that rabbit hole so much. I mean, I think on addictions, it's kind of like, what do you want to do, or how do you want to approach it? I mean, it's interesting thinking like what other people want,
Sure.
Like I'd laugh if somebody in their cache write-up just goes TFTC is fine, if somebody's like, these are the logs I expect, but I appreciate what Jesse's doing, because I mean, really, if you're going to find caches in your area, try to encourage people to hide more and high quality caches. I mean, writing good quality logs is a wonderful way to do it.
No, I agree. And I don't want to be the guy, you've probably seen these on your own caches, where they write a dissertation and they put a note that's like, I'm trying to get my numbers up on Project GC of number of words on my log. It's like, you know what? I should just delete this then. Oh, jeez. Because you're just making me mad, and I could care less about your little geocache Project GC numbers. And you're going to basically abuse my cache by putting in this long dissertation to make it, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, I got to pull up this comment. This is a great one from Galaxite Gwen. They say, I don't agree with having to host every type of cache to be a true geocacher. Some people have specialties and are really good at certain types. What do you guys think? So
I think you're completely wrong. No, I'm kidding. I don't think you. I don't think you. I don't necessarily think that you have to do every type to be a true geocacher. I would counter their statement, and that is that many cachers get lazy about geocaching, or and I'll let you, John, explain maybe a different way to put this, but my feeling is that challenge yourself, maybe stretch out your arms and give some things the possibility of doing. And one of the things too is, we're about to get into my obsession here in a second, but it's not all about you. We live in a society now. There's my next soapbox. I went from one soapbox to another. We live in a society where people are all about, in today's world, we're all about us. What is it? How does it help me? And my thing is, let's get back to the days of what can, sort of John F. Kennedy, statement about, don't ask what you can get for yourself. What can you do for others? Ask not. And so I'm a person now that I am motivated and dedicated to others and not just to myself. Now, I don't think you need to completely abandon yourself, and become some sort of doormat for the world, but I am dedicated to helping others. I'm dedicated to hiding, and I'll get into my geocache obsession in a minute. I am committed to things like Podcast of Hope, helping St. Jude whenever I can, helping, and making that an event that truly does bring in money for St. Jude, for the Children's Hospital. We're next December. I feel confident we're going to pass $100,000 that we have raised. We have one guest already confirmed that is incredible. He was on a Fox show. I'm going for A-listers, John. I'm working on it,
Gary. Challenge yourself.
I'm challenging myself. I want the lineup to be so awesome that we can, not that all the other years we've done this. This is our 10th year, so I want the 10th year to be incredible. We've had so many incredible guests over the years. We've got Beans. You want Beans?
Oh man, do not challenge. I think Gary is addicted to spilling beans.
I am addicted to spilling beans.
Gary, do not give in to that addiction.
I will not
give that into that.
I will not. But we will do a show prior to it to spill the beans. But
yes.
Yeah, I've got some incredible, and I've got others I'm working on that are just, there's a major rock star that I have a connection to.
Okay, guys. So Gary. Gary, so I gotta get back to Galaxite, Gwen's point, my viewpoint on here. So I hear what Gary's saying, and I think that's very aspirational. I agree with Gary that helps a community on that side. I think for people though, as they learn the game, there's so many different facets of geocaching and so many different ways to do it with different cache types. I think that's awesome if people want to go and hide a certain type of caches, I think a lot of people, it's just they start, even with traditionals and then go off into different types and I mean, do what speaks with you, but just realize like this game has so many different elements. Like I love when Jesse used to hate on Earth caches big time and he was like Mr. Where I Go. And then he challenged himself and then he got into Earth caches and he did awesome, man.
Yeah,
he did incredible. But I think it's just like as you play the game and your interests shift. So I wouldn't say close the door on different types of experiences, but certainly, consider them and be them. But if right now your energy is taking you in a specific way for like, I don't know, multis, where he goes, Earth caches, etc., go with it,
No, I agree.
But this is a great game to definitely try different things for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to hide every cache type, okay. But I think that to kind of wrap that part up, and that was just that don't wall off that possibility that don't just say I'm not going to do it. Keep the option open for yourself, because like you said today, John, some people are like, I don't want to do a multi-cache. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Okay. But don't say you'll never do it.
Right.
Because there may be a day when you're going to go, you know what? Today is the day, and this particular situation that I'm seeing myself possibly hiding in this area really is sort of lending itself to a multi-cache. And even though I've never hid one, I think today is the day. So I think that's important. So, all right.
Well, and I got to say too, and then we'll probably list them off.
Go for it.
Like you don't have to hide the most awesome cache, your first cache type of anything. Right. You can always hide a cache, and you'll probably learn things, and you'll probably make much better caches over time.
Yeah.
So, don't feel like the bar is so high on this stuff that you can't publish a cache type if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we'll get into mine, and then we're going to get into yours. So my strange geocaching addiction, and that is, John, I cannot stop hiding caches.
Oh man,
it's a good problem for some people, but I cannot stop. In fact, I recently went through and I had a few caches I needed to fix, but instead of fixing them, I did fix a couple, but for some of them, instead of fixing them, I just archived them and put out new ones because I wanted to put out more caches. So it was one of those things where I just can't stop hiding caches. That's my strange addiction, is I can't, which is great for cachers because I can't stop.
Well, are you maintaining though, my friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm. And again, there were a few, I had to make a maintenance run, and a couple of them I actually did like fix, like, I did replace a couple that were missing, and they're good spots. They're, approved locations. There's nothing, strange about, they're not in any kind of weird, they're approved. Either they're in a park that I'm approved to do, that kind of thing. Or they're public locations that here in Texas that we are allowed to put caches, et cetera, et cetera. There's a few though that I decided upon that I was just going to change it up, so I would archive a cache, and I was like, okay, it's in a good spot, but there's a little better spot not too far away from it, but obviously I can't have both. So I would pick that one up, I would archive it, and then I would replace it nearby with a better one. Now here's my other, this is something I'll get you to comment on, because Tell me what your thoughts on this, because this is weird. Maybe this gets into my addiction.
Well, let's be open. Let's be open. We're all cachers. We all got quirks, right?
This really gets into my addiction. So, a good friend of mine passed away a couple years ago. Very sad. He was part of our Motley Caching crew, and very tragic thing that happened. He actually took his own life, so it's even more, it really hit home more, because if you ever had someone who's taken their life, you always think, what could I have done? What should I have done to try to help?
Right.
Because I don't know. I think we sometimes feel, what could we have done to help?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just the natural thing. You think, like, what could you have done differently? Absolutely.
Yeah. And I know in the grand scheme of things that he made the choice. He made that choice. And I'm just a friend who didn't know that it had gotten to that point. And, tragically, I should have realized maybe, and that's where we all kind of sort of take that burden that, what could we have done? But anyway, so Chris has been gone now for 2 or 3 years, and it's very sad. So there was a spot that I knew wasn't ever going to get fixed. It was on the list, and I sort of pushed on the geocache had been gone for, I didn't take it. Mm-hmm. I just had seen that, because I had replaced some caches in this big cemetery area, and cemeteries in Texas are big time for caches. Some states don't allow it. Every state's different. Check out your Wikipedia. There's a Wikipedia page specifically designed for every state. Don't know if people knew that or not, but that gives you your marching orders when it comes to hides. So I contacted the reviewer and said, hey, this cache is not going to get fixed. My friend passed away a few years ago, sadly, and I don't want to make it a zombie cache. I could go fix it, but I don't want to be one of those guys who perpetuates a zombie cache. Zombie caches, for those that don't know, are basically caches without an owner. Sort of like a how would you put that in zombie world? It would be like a body without a brain or something.
Yeah. And zombie caches are not usually the best condition of caches.
No, they might be gone.
Yeah.
But, or if at the very least it's there, but nobody's maintaining it.
Yep.
In this case, the cache wasn't there. I went and looked for it myself. I couldn't find it. And there was and I'm surprised that the reviewer had passed on this one so many times, because it had several DNFs. I mean, there were several people who had not found it. So I was that guy. I said, hey, it's a great spot. I was like, hey, contact the reviewer, go, hey, this one's not going to get fixed. My friend passed away. And so he archived it. And so I put a cache out. Now, is that bad? Was I wrong?
That's a tricky one, because like my caching experience, like when I started, like the area I'm in, there was a lot of caches who were out of the game. Some just phased out. Did other things. Other people passed on. But that's the thing. Like for me, my experiences were I was pretty persistent, because some of the caches I found just weren't there.
Yeah.
Poor condition. So really, for there and for people's caching experience, like we should put out there very good quality caches, and especially if there's a way to do it in remembrance of somebody.
True.
I think that is very cool to do.
That's one that Gwen mentions, that Gwen, and we do have and by the way, we do have a cache. I have a cache in the area that is dedicated to our fallen members of our Motley Caching crew. Chris, and then Keith passed away a few years ago as well. He got sick, really quickly died. He was a friend of Drive's Cache Closet
Okay.
as well. But yeah, it's so sad. I mean, I had texted with him, and he got some sort of sepsis, and then he was gone. It was like that. I mean, it's like I had just texted him. It wasn't that long ago. I mean, it's probably been 6 weeks, and then David sent me a note, said he was gone. It was like, what do you mean he's gone? He can't. He passed away. It's like, so again, very sad. But yeah, we do have a tribute cache. We have a couple tribute caches out. There's one in Oklahoma City that's dedicated for Keith. That's where he's buried, and then we have one down here. But yeah, so there were a few different ones in this town, and it wasn't just. It was one of those kind of things where I haven't gone through and tried to grab every one of his locations. I just thought that was sort of there. It's not, and it would be. I think it would be different, in my opinion. It would be different if I went and took the cache and then go, oh, you know what? Nobody's going to fix this cache because he's not here anymore. That kind of thing. So I wouldn't never do that.
I think for us as cachers, it's like we have so many places that are tied to our memories.
Yeah.
And that we're connected to or that speak to us. I mean, I know, one spot for me, the first cache I ever found, right? Ever found my first cache. The cache got archived there. And I was like, I'm hiding a cache in that spot because that is a special spot to me.
Yeah.
Being connected to that. So I think sometimes for us as cachers, it's like we just have that connection with that spot or that memory or just something that I think for hiding, it just makes a lot of sense to us.
Yeah. What are some of your addictions?
Oh man. Okay.
Other than the food addiction. You can talk about the food addiction if you want.
Yeah, so I'm going to start out and I'm going to say my name is the Pizza Ninja and I'm addicted to geocaching. And saying that, like, I'm looking for everybody's support.
John.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. I'm looking for everybody's support, like tonight, like in the chat room and everything else, because some of these may be weird, and I hope we're all okay with that. On that,
you're in a safe space, my friend.
I appreciate that, Gary. I really do. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up, oh man, and God bless you, you just ate pizza. Me too. That's two of us on that. And I just did once today. So very low number, but yeah. Oh man. And thank you for tuning into Pizza Talk on the Geocache Talk Network, where we talk about pizza and all things pizza on here.
Right.
But yeah, one I shared with Gary before the show, and I think Captain Math has the same addiction on here, believe it or not. But how many people have an addiction to these? Do we know what these are?
It took me a minute until you told me what I was looking at. At first I'm thinking, is this like a star or what are we looking at here? Because at first I'm like, is this an antenna? And then we'll see. We'll let the chat room explain to us what. See, Buzz82 says yep, but where are you saying yep to? What is that?
Yeah,
Happy Hodag has got it.
Yep, Happy Hodag.
Culvert.
Yeah. Culvert. How many people are addicted to culverts? Just out of curiosity on there, because to me, if there's
nobody else, there's nobody else right now. Just let you know.
Oh man, lost Ken. Okay, I appreciate this one because this seems so weird to Muggles. I'm sure.
Of all the podcasts,
addiction. Yep, Buzz82. Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys coming out too. Yeah, same thing with Nels. He enjoys them.
You realize, John, of all the podcasts that are currently going on in the world, and there's probably 750,000 going on at this very moment, none of them are talking right now about culverts.
culvert addiction, Gary. It's real amongst cachers.
Apparently there's an addiction to it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I've done one and it was fun. I don't need to do another. Be honest with you. I have not, that addiction has not caught on with me, but
Oh man, it's
I'm
totally
trying to understand. I'm here for you, my friend. I'm here for you.
I appreciate it, because what I did, in all honesty, I'm like, I have to send this to somebody else who's going to be excited about this one.
Yeah.
So what do I do, right? I get that picture and I text Captain Math and I just write Happy Easter.
Oh yeah, he is addicted.
Yeah, and he's like, was there one in there? And I was like, not yet, but I did hide one in there. I did hide one. Because I'm like, to me, it would be a total shame not to put one there. Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Eric, I kind of get it, man. They can scare some people. I've never run into anything horrible on that one. But yeah.
Gators? Of course, there's no gators up your way, but I mean, maybe down there in Nicole's, does a gator want to get into one? Is there something for them to find in there? I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm glad that people recognize that.
You know who shares your addiction?
Who's that?
Other than Captain Math, Emily Renee.
Really? Okay.
Sweet Emily. Can I say it and get away with it? Emily's a gutter rat. I'm just saying it right now.
Jeez. Gary, jeez. Can't believe you said that about Emily.
One of our own.
Well, just that, Gary.
Podcast.
I would not say that about somebody who loves culverts on there.
She's a gutter rat. I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. Emily, come on here and deny the fact. No, she's not a gutter rat, but she does love, she loves some of those hard, they can be hard to do.
Yeah.
They can be tricky.
Absolutely.
She's up for the challenge. Let's put it that way. She's always up for a good challenge.
Yeah.
So I probably just send her a note and say, I don't really mean you're a gutter rat. Like,
yeah, you should apologize. That can't. Yeah.
I'm sending her a note right now. Emily, you're not. What? I'm not. I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah. And see, now it's numerous stages all underground. Yeah. I mean, that just is so much cooler, right? Yeah. I feel like anybody who loves culverts, I have to, I got your back on that one for sure.
I called you a gutter rat. But I didn't mean it that way.
Oh man.
But I just meant you like culvert caches. All right, there. I have apologized to her.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Gary. I appreciate that.
There I am. I'm putting it in there.
Okay. We have on record, audio listeners, that Gary is apologizing.
I'm apologizing
for hating on somebody due to their love for culverts.
We'll see what she responds to.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, pretty funny. We'll get her response hopefully. But anyway,
okay, I got to come up with my next admission, Gary.
Yeah, go for it. What's your next one?
I am addicted to ammo cans on that one. And
okay, hiding or finding?
Finding.
Okay,
and especially, and I don't know for many people, but like the euphoria you get when it's a metal ammo can and you're opening it and it's making that like clanking metallic sound on that.
Oh one. Yeah, right.
Like, as a geocacher, how magical is that?
Addiction wise, I don't have the addiction like that.
Yeah, chat room, help me out.
Yeah,
Am I the only one on here?
The chat room might help you out on I got a response from Emily. She says she loves it. I'm just telling you the honest truth. She wrote, "Ha ha, I love that."
Yeah.
So there you go. So I'm off the hook for calling her
Okay.
a gutter
Okay.
rat because I didn't
Audio
mean it.
listeners, Gary's still in good standing with Emily.
I'm still in good standing with Emily.
Yeah. Good to
Oh,
hear it.
now here's something interesting though. When it comes to Lost Ken's with you on that one, best find.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a metal
Lost
ammo
Ken.
can.
You get it, man.
I did find one recently that I was very excited to find, not because it was an ammo can, although I assumed it was an ammo can. It was a year 2000. It's called the Texas Double. It is an ammo can, and it's a little tricky to get to. It's up a hill that's like this. So you're like grabbing tree branches and you're trying to pull yourself up this thing to get to it. But we did. We got up there and we signed. It was a October 2000, and I needed an October 2000 to start my process of getting to wrap up a double Jasmer, and
good for you.
I really needed, and that's a good one. It's an easy. I mean, it's a little tricky to find because it is well hidden, but it's a good one. But yeah, it's the old ammo can. Pop it open, grab the sides and rip at that thing, and it makes that noise as you open it up. So
yeah,
addiction, though, I'm not addicted to it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I am. Like I saw a Hailmeister video earlier where there was one in a culvert, and I've never found an ammo can in a culvert.
Wow. Ammo can
just
in a
combining
culvert.
those two things, it was just like
Wow.
just like amazing. But the other spot where I'm
Better be
addicted to
secure.
finding ammo cans,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know why. I wonder if I'm alone on this one too.
Yeah.
Like pine tree forests. I don't know why, but if
Okay.
somebody were to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go like outdoor hiking," okay, good points right there. If it's like, okay, we're gonna do it in a forest full of pine trees, I don't know why, but like
You're
that's
in.
even better to me.
You want the smell of the pine and all that kind of
Yeah.
you want to forest bathe, as they say, at the same
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, because forest bathing is a thing.
It
And
is.
that's not where you take your clothes off and run naked through the forest. That's not what we're talking about.
No. We're
No.
not talking about those kinds of caches.
Do not recommend.
Yeah.
Unless you're by yourself, there's nobody around. I guess you can do what you want, but that's a little dangerous too, though, because you got ticks and all sorts of kind. Maybe you keep your, protect your legs, and you could go rest of it. I don't know, but typically you're not going to be able. There's not many opportunities, I don't think, for
so just to clarify for all the audio listeners, what Gary just said is not my addiction.
That's are you sure you're not all natural?
No.
You're not trying to get out there? No.
No. Just clarifying again what Gary just said. I was just saying finding ammo cans in a pine forest.
In the pine forest. Okay.
In the pine forest. Yeah. And I don't know, chat room, if you guys relate to that at all.
We're safe. Okay.
But
yeah. I don't know if I'm addicted to that though.
No? Like, are
That's
you
an interesting addiction? I'm
anything?
not saying there's anything wrong. I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't hear me. I'm not. I'm here for you, buddy. I'm not.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm here for you. I just am not. I'm trying to relate to this, and I don't have to relate because
yeah, everybody's experience is their experience.
Everybody's different. Sure. Yeah, everybody's different, and I don't. I can be here for you and not necessarily have the same. I don't have to have the same addiction for me to appreciate your strange addictions.
And I got to ask Gary, when I was reading the description for the show that I'm assuming you and Jesse made on here,
yes,
which one of you has the log sniffing addiction?
That would be Jesse.
That's Jesse?
Yeah, Jesse. He's into that. Yeah, he loves to sniff the log.
Never knew that.
I don't understand. understand that. I don't understand the need for that. I mean, again, I'm not here to judge anything. I'm not a,
Yeah.
I'm just here for you guys. I mean, if you want to sniff the log, go for it. I don't think there's anything harmful that, I would suggest that you don't lick them anymore, John. You need to stop licking the log book because,
If a logbook, if a slice of pizza could count as a logbook, Gary, maybe then I'd lick it. Otherwise, I don't think so.
Maybe you shouldn't. I'm just trying to think that.
Are you craving cheesy goodness? It's time for Pizza Talk.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, what?
No,
Gary.
We already did.
Gary.
We did a show on Pizza Talk.
Gary.
That show has been done. It's already been done.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to come back to Buzz 82's comment on here too. Ammo can in the woods, he says, totally makes sense to him. Ammo can in under a bench in a city park will be picked up by a law enforcement officer in 5 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, there's context there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not a good idea to you want to make it, you have to have the right context.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
All right. So do you have others? We'll talk about some other things then.
Oh man, I think some others I just got to put out there too.
Yeah.
Of course, people know my obsession about pizza, which is real. That is 100% truthful on that one.
You really are the pizza ninja.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Being away on vacation last week, I think I ate pizza every single day when I was traveling.
See, that's an addiction.
Yeah. And caching.
But yes, what's funny though is that we do within our little group, we do send each other pizza pictures. So, and I've been doing the carnivore thing of late for health reasons. I've been just doing carnivore, and there are some good carnivore pizzas out there. I tried a couple of variations, and of course, every variation I sent it to John. I go, John, what do you think? What's it look like? He's like, all right, talk to me about it. How was it? What was how did it turn out? And some were better than others. Tried the cloud bread pizza, which I think turned out really well. The chicken crust pizza, although all carnivore, the chicken crust pizza was okay. It wasn't. I don't know. The cloud bread pizza was the way to go. So if anybody wants a recipe, send me a note. I'll send along the recipe for cloud bread. It's good. I mean, it satisfies a little bit of your pizza craving. I think I have a craving for pizza. I don't think I'm addicted to pizza. Does that make sense? I
used to say that before I admitted that I was addicted.
Right. So is that the first step toward addiction, is the craving?
Well, yeah. And then, it's denying it. And then you have to just admit to it.
You finally just admit,
yeah,
my name's Gary. I'm addicted to pizza.
Yeah. I mean, once you admit you're addicted, sometimes it's a good way to help defer the guilt,
Yeah, I guess that's, and we're in a safe space. So, but I'm not to that point. I crave it. I think it's more, I crave the carbs. I crave the sugar in the bread and all that good stuff. I think that's more of the craving that, but having said all that, we are going to Pies and Pints at some point, right? When we're in Morgantown, I think
absolutely.
I think we're going to need to go there. That's one of the places that I think has pizza in Morgantown. So, I think you'll find John and I at that one at different times. In fact, we might even do a quick show from there.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, if you're in town, come visit us. We might be there at some point. there's a couple different ones in town, so we might, you never know, we might make a little run through, make a little tour through the pizzas of Morgantown.
Yeah, and big shout out to Carson
Yeah.
and Mark Webb for recommending Mountain State Brewing. Went there, and that
How
was
was that?
incredible.
That was a good
That
one.
was really good. Yeah, they seated me right in front of their pizza oven on that one in a VIP seat.
Dinner and
I don't
show.
know.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't know if Mark called beforehand and was like, "Hey, Pizza Ninja's going to come. Give him this table." I wouldn't be
Probably
surprised
so.
if he did.
I mean, you are the pizza ninja.
Yeah, and that was amazing. And then Pies and Pints, that was incredible too. I did end up going to their original location nearby.
That one. Yep.
Yeah, and their Nashville hot chicken pizza with pickle pizza was incredible. Yeah, Nicole,
Wow.
definitely. I look forward to talking pizza with Nicole, you, and everybody else at Geo Woodstock.
Absolutely. John and I are gearing up, and we are trying to. I'll spill a little bit of beans, unless John cuts me off.
Oh no, Gary just spilled the beans.
We're working on a possible show for Thursday. We're trying.
Whoa.
What?
No. This is good. This is major beans, though.
Yeah, this is major. This is a large pot of beans.
This is so big that if you know your friends, or other people you want to listen to them to the show right now, this is big. This is really big.
Yeah, this is a big announcement. We are in the process of confirming a show for next Thursday. Again, not off. Tuesday will be Gadget Talk. I'll let you talk about Gadget Talk here in a second because we're starting to wrap up tonight. But next Thursday, we are in discussions with HQ about a special show about the LilyPad app. And we're can I mention who might be our guest?
Let's go, Gary. Let's go. This is big. We should talk about this.
We've never had him on. We've always wanted to have him on, but we're working on confirming one of the originals who created geocaching, Jeremy Irish, is going to be on the show next Thursday to talk about this new app that is available called LilyPad. And so we're going to let Jeremy do most of, obviously, the discussions from HQ's standpoint, but just having Jeremy Irish on is huge. He is, he's one of the OGs, man. He was there at the beginning of geocaching. So, he said this. He goes, so Rock Chalk sent me a note suggesting sending the link to him as soon as you can. Hopefully they'll truly lock it in, and we're trying to lock that in for next Thursday. So there you go.
How incredible is that? Because of three people that founded it, right? Brian Roth, which everybody knows Brian, the current president, Elias, and then Jeremy Irish. And
Elias
it's just,
and Jeremy. Yeah, those are the three.
Jeremy was president before Brian, and at such a formative time of the game on that one too. So
he doesn't do a lot of shows. He does a few, but he doesn't do a lot of shows these days. So I'm really excited to have him on. He's currently the senior vice president at geocaching, but he was one of the co-founders. It's great to have a co-founder, It's great to have somebody on like that.
Just their perspective of like where they were, how the game started, even with this
Yeah.
app, where do they see the game going? You know?
Yeah, I agree. We've downloaded it. We've toyed with it. We've messed with it. Um, what else? We, we see some potential in it. Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of different use case scenarios on here that are very interesting, and especially with the timing of this, with so many big events coming,
Yeah.
including Geo Woodstock. So there seems like there's so many different applications where it could be used in such a big and powerful way.
Yeah, I see some big potentials for it. It reminds me of a app we talked about before the show where
Yeah.
you could, and there's things today that people use in a good way, where
Yeah.
they can track, you can track each other in if both you and I, John, are on a trail and we're going to split up, um, for whatever reason. It's like, all right, I'll you go through, you take this trail, I'm going to take this trail, and these two trails seem to look like they're going to link back up, as long as we have self service, obviously, it's important. But I get to the end of the trail, I can look and go, okay, well, John's close, I can see that because we're both linked up on there, and I can see that you're getting close to where I'm at, so I don't have to call you and go, where are you? And you're like, I don't know, I'm somewhere on the trail, that kind of thing. So I think it could be helpful to keep track of if you had a group that were sort of doing different things, or even from a social standpoint, you're like, hey, we're in downtown Morgantown, how far away are you? And you would be like, I don't know, I'm driving, be there soon. I can look on the app if we're both
Yeah.
visible. I can go, oh, I see where you are. You're only about 10 minutes away. That's fine. Or whatever. Or like, are you sure you're on the right road? Because you don't look like you're driving toward Morgantown. You're like, oh crap, I'm on the wrong road. Dang it. Thanks for pointing that out. And you turn around, that kind of thing. So
Yeah. I'll tell you, there's just so many potential uses on here. Like, I can't wait for Jeremy to kind of understand like his vision with it, because even I mentioned to Gary on this one too, like driving back from North Carolina, I stopped like just south of Pittsburgh for the night,
yeah.
in this town. And it wasn't until right before I left, and I wish I did it the night before, and it was just a quick overnight. But when I opened it up in the morning right before I left, there was actually like a chat channel for that location. And I was like, shoot, if I knew that like chat
Yeah.
channel was up for that location and that town the night before, I probably would have been like,
Hey.
hey, does anybody want to grab pizza or something? Um, and then if people like responded back, I mean, like, how cool would that have been to like get some geocachers just kind of spontaneously and impromptu to, grab some pizza and talk some caching? I mean, like, that would have been so cool, And and just thinking about that, I'm like, okay, next time I travel somewhere, I'm on the way, I'm in somewhere,
Yeah.
like if I can do that. But I was just so shocked to see that like local chat channel pop up.
Yes.
Um, and
A
that would have
local.
been a very cool low-key way to do that.
I think
Um,
it has some potential. Nicole says
yeah,
sounds awesome. One of the things that I could think of was that, we were kind of hanging out, me and Nicole and Danielle, at Bamarama, and I think there was, obviously we can text each other and go, hey, where you at? I mean, and yes, we went one night for, we did go eat pizza one time, but we went to Throwed Rolls. We had to go to Lambert's. You got to go to Lambert. If there's a Lambert's near you, you got to go to Lambert's. So we went to
yeah,
Lambert's, but if you think about it, there could have been points where you're at a big mega. Well, and some of the Bamarama, the main part of Bamarama's can be pretty big field. So I mean, the park for Geo Woodstock's pretty big. So in theory, if you wanted to link up with some people, like, hey, are you wrapping? I think we're done. Are you wrapping up? Um, you know, how, and you can kind of get a guesstimate, or not an estimate. You can kind of get an idea of where your little group is. You're like, some of them are nearby, one's not, and that person's not close. You could send them a note and go, hey, I see on the lily pad that you're kind of at the far end of the park. I think we're all going to leave pretty soon. You want to kind of start coming back this direction? You're like, oh yeah, I'll start heading your way. So, I mean, there's some social interaction pieces that you could use as a group, I think, but we'll find out more. Jeremy can tell us this more. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did catch a lot of rolls for the group. So yeah, those were some good times right there. Lambert's. Yeah. The home of the throwed roll. All right. Upcoming shows. Obviously I mentioned the Thursday one we're hoping for. You got another show you want to talk about?
Yeah. So we got Gadget Talk on Tuesday, April 22nd,
Nice.
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So usually it's like the third, Tuesday of the month, but I was on the road last week, so we're doing it on this Tuesday. But we're talking about human-powered gadget caches. So
love it.
Yeah. So, it's great because, a long time ago, the talk was, having people bring their own batteries, like a 9-volt battery, doing things. And then, talking about like internally powered caches with batteries and how do you do that? But, just thinking like, how can you create some clever gadget caches with things like where people have to like crank for power, pedal for power, pump, pull, just think of different things on that one.
Yeah, love it.
So
Great
Chad
idea.
thought of some really incredible and fun things that we're going to talk about on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Love it. Have you seen the one with the spoons where you have to lift up the spoons to kind of,
you
have to lift the cache up. So you're working against gravity.
Oh man. And shout out Killer B, post the GC in the chat right now. If you got a gadget.
Oh, wow. There you go.
No FTF yet. Yeah.
He has a gadget cache with no FTF yet. That's nice.
Yeah. We want to see that GC.
He's got several in the Houston area. So, Nell says, yeah, that spoon cache is awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like it'd be frustrating, but again, could be a lot of fun to do. But it's human powered because you're trying to like shimmy the cache up to a hole, and then you push the cache into the hole at the top, and it'll roll down, and so you can get it. So, I'd like to do one like that sometime. Yeah. Houston, Texas, Dave. Obviously, his name, Houston, Texas, Dave's like, what's the GC code for the Houston hides?
Yeah, let's get the GC code out, Killer B.
That's what's going on in the chat room. All right. I think we're pretty much done tonight. Again, really looking forward to Gadget Talk and a special Thursday night. So stay tuned for more information on the Thursday night. And also, don't forget Worldwide Cache Cruise. I mean, there's still cabins available, and it's going to be an incredible time. I know it's a long way off, but that gives people time to, save their pennies for this incredible trip. It's just going to be awesome. Really will be. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. We'll see everybody Tuesday night.
Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody. Have a good night.
May your finds be many, and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.